Hey, Mike Koenig, executive producer of Delaware Valley Outdoors. I know it's been a while, but I wanted to get out here in the middle of summer, a hot summer here. We're out with kayaks on a little lake that I just found out about called Giving Pond, just north of New Hope. So stay tuned. We're going to show you a little bit about this hidden little gem in Bucks County. So stay tuned. If you like to fish wood, boy, this is the place to come. Vertical, horizontal, got a little bit of everything. Maybe a little too much of everything. What'd you catch him on?
Very small. Very small. Little
First one of the day, huh?
Little triple grub.
So they also have crappie in here.
Yeah, gonna be a multi-species day, I guess.
Nice.
Nice crappie.
Got him on what? The same thing?
Same little triple ripple. There he goes.
Look at that. Very little fishing pressure here. Beautiful lake. Absolutely gorgeous. Perfect for a kayak if you got a small kayak or even a canoe. It had a sign up front that said there was electric only. Obviously you don't want to put a motor in here. Probably couldn't get a motor in here if you wanted to. Ramp is non-existent. It's just typical Pennsylvania, just dirt right into the lake. If you like to fish structure, plenty of structure in here, huh?
Everywhere. Everywhere. Tons of vertical trees. Seems to be wood just constantly under the water here.
And that's so unusual for Pennsylvania to leave any kind of structure in a lake when they make a lake.
Yeah.
Now, is this a lake? Do you think this is a lake? You think this might be a pond?
I think they call it a pond.
So it's Giving Pond.
Giving Pond. I think they actually, I don't know if this was a flooded quarry at some point or a little kind of like a sand, it's almost like a sand kind of shoreline.
Well, you said how deep is it? You thought it was 30 feet in some spots?
I was told in some spots around here it's like 30, 35 feet. This is actually only the third time I've ever been here. I brought my 5-year-old son here just to kind of sunny fish, and it kept him busy over the course of the day. It was just like one fish after another after another.
That's perfect for kids.
Fishing much the same thing. These little grubs. I brought him up here fishing the little grubs at one point. He didn't catch quite as many as we did on the worms, but it was great for a little kid because it was just constant.
And you got a bunch of these little islands where they are, where these little brush piles are. So obviously I guess the fish congregate. Now you said since the last time you've been up here, this water actually went down a little bit. We were having a little bit of a drought here or something.
Yeah, it seems like up around the boat launch up in there, there's some little points and things, some gravel points, and every other time I've ever been here before, they were underwater. When we pulled in today, they were all exposed. So I think it's suffering the drought, kind of like everything else is here, like the river is.
And we both mentioned how warm the water is. It's got to be like 80, right?
Yeah, the water feels like it's in the low 80s or so. It's really, really, really warm. So on a hot day like today, it's like you want to just dump yourself in, but I don't think we'll do that.
You never know with a kayak. I'm down the southernmost part of the pond here in Giving Pond, and this area seems a lot deeper than the rest of it, and it also seems a lot more open. Haven't had any luck fishing down this end, so we'll have to see. I think the secret to this pond is to actually fish as close as you can to shore. It's very deep. We think there might have been a rock quarry at one point, maybe a sand or a gravel quarry, but it's very steep banks, and the vegetation is only right at the bank, maybe about 5 feet from shore. So we're going to continue to explore this little lake. That's a crappie. Almost in the same spot as the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty close. One of these vertical trees here, just kind of vertical jigging it out.
Yeah, because we have such deep water here, it's actually quite easy to vertical jig these. Probably got 20 feet, you think?
Yeah, I think we're in about 20 feet of water here. It's deeper than my paddle, well deeper than my paddle. These must have been the treetops that we're basically seeing here.
Wow. Easy.
Fall out of a boat.
Don't fall out of. That's the one thing, guys. When you set the hook, you're not in your bass boat anymore.
Yeah.
Don't do that big yank. You'll be right out the other side of the boat.
20 pounds ago, and in the bigger boat, that would have been no problem at all.
Wow, it seems so strange to be in amongst this tall trees. So far the lower end, the south part of the pond, hasn't been quite as good to us as the mid and hopefully the north. We haven't tried the north section yet. We're going to try that next.
Day's coming to us also. It's getting a little darker a little later in the day now.
This is one of the many islands that are in this pond, and for kayakers it's good to know that you can get out, stretch your legs once in a while, and fish from shore and walk along these islands and explore the islands. It's also a great spot to realize that it's probably hasn't been fished as hard as the banks from shoreline anglers. You have to have a kayak or a canoe to get out here to these islands, but this is one of at least a dozen or so little islands that are in the middle of this pond. Here's another example of isolated structure in this pond. There's probably a dozen or so of these isolated little stick-ups. So far we haven't had any luck off them, but it doesn't mean that the fish won't be there at certain times. Again, the only way to get to this structure is from a small boat or a kayak. Can't get to it from shore. We're now at the northernmost part of the lake, and as you can see, the wood structure here is a lot denser than the rest of the lake. And we still have a lot to explore here, but as you can see, it's pretty thick. It's even tough to get through there with a kayak. But I'm sure there's some fish back in there. So again, you can kind of see the contrast between the types of wood structure you have in this tiny little pond. Well, I hope you liked this little behind-the-scenes look at Giving Pond. And by the way, it's in Tinicum Township. I know I said Bucks County earlier, but it's actually Tinicum. It's just north of New Hope. And if you want more information, you can go to DelawareValleyOutdoors.com, and we'll have a link with a Google map that'll take you right to the spot. If you get a chance, come on out, try it. If you got a little kayak or a canoe, it's great. And you can also do a lot of shoreline fishing too. Hey, I'm Mike Haney, Executive Producer of Delaware Valley Outdoors. Thanks for watching.